Welcome to the Project Human Resource Management course, where we look at the processes that are required to efficiently manage the people that will be working on our project. The Project Human Resource Management involves the processes that select, organize, and manage the project team, who are also the project staff. There are times that the project manager does the human resource management activities with other persons, and together they are referred to as the project management team, or the executive team, or the leadership team. And we will be looking at 4 processes: plan human resource management, acquire project team, develop project team, and manage project team. And during this process, we want to understand that the project sponsor works with the project management team when it comes to issues of funding and also clarifying scope. The first process, plan human resource management, is a process that involves identifying and documenting the project roles, responsibilities, the required skills, the reporting relationships, and finally creating a staffing management plan. What is a staffing management plan? It is a plan that gives us a timetable for staff to be acquired and released from the project. And it will also include things like training, recognition and rewards, safety issues, and team building activities for the staff that will be bringing on board the project. So basically, it is a plan for admitting and releasing staff onto the project. Now, what are the inputs to this process, plan human resource management? We will need our project management plan, our activity resource requirements, which tells us the resources needed for each activity. Then our enterprise environmental factors, which will include organizational culture and structure, existing human resources, policies on HR and marketplace conditions. Then organizational process assets, which will talk of templates, historical information, organizational standard role descriptions, and structures that have been successful in the past. All useful information that the project manager or the project management team can make use of to manage our project are all part of the organizational process assets. The tools and techniques that we will implement or make use of will include the use of organization charts and position descriptions. We will depend on our understanding of networking, which is the formal and informal interaction between people in an organization. We need to understand organizational theory, which tells us that the behavior of people in any organization. We might have to depend on experts for expert judgment. Then we will be holding meetings, and we should know that meetings are such an important tool in project planning. Our output of this process is a human resource management plan, and don't forget it will include a staffing management plan. Once we have our human resource management plan, we could move on to the next process, which is acquire project team. And this process talks of obtaining the full complement of the team necessary to complete our project activities. The inputs we require there, we will need our human resource management plan. We will make reference to the enterprise environmental factors. These have been mentioned earlier. Our organizational process assets are also useful when we are acquiring the project team. And again, acquire project team, we are looking at obtaining the full complement of the team that is necessary to do the work of the project. The tools and techniques that could help in this process will include pre-assignment, which talks of selecting some project team members in advance. Then, negotiation is necessary for the timely release of human resources for use on the current project. We could negotiate with functional managers or negotiate with the people we are trying to bring on board. Acquisition talks of hiring individuals outside the organization, virtual teams, teams that do not meet face-to-face. Then we need our selection criteria so that we could use to select potential team members. The outputs of this process will be that we will have selected staff for our project, and so we will assign them to duties, and this is what we refer to as the project staff assignments. And then we can develop a resource calendar which tells us the various times that staff will be available to work on our project. And we could update our project management plan with the new information on staff that have been added and the plans that we have for them and so on. Various portions of the project management plan, especially the human resource plan, will be updated. Now that we have our team, it will be important to develop the project team, and that is the focus of this process. Develop project team. And this is the process of improving the individual competencies and the team interaction to enhance project performance. We will make use of our human resource management plan, our project staff assignments, our resource calendars. Again, the resource calendars give us an idea about the availability of our team members. If you want to develop them, for instance, through trainings, you need to know when your team members will be available to undertake the trainings, and that is the use of the resource calendar. Tools and techniques that we can make use of include the interpersonal skills of the project manager. Then it will depend so much on training. It will depend on team building activities like taking lessons together, having parties together, out of work trips, and so on. It will set ground rules which talk of behavior that is considered acceptable by the project team. Co-location, locating the project team in one place, is a tool for team building. Then we could put in place recognition and reward systems. It's a great motivating tool and helps to develop our team. Then we could have various personnel assessment tools that we will make use of in assessing the various skill levels of our teams to see how much they have developed over time. Whenever we bring a team together, a team will go through some 5 basic stages of development. The first stage is a forming stage, when we bring them together as a team. Then we will go on to the storming stage, where because the team members are new to each other, there are disagreements. But with time, we will get to the norming stage, where the team members begin to build good working relationships. And once that happens, we enter the performing stage, where efficiency is high, because the team has learned to work together. And when we have gotten to the peak of our work and the work is finished, we get to the adjourning stage, where the work comes to an end and the team members are released. it is found out that everything that is formed will necessarily go through these 5 stages of development. The outputs of the developed project team will include team performance assessments, which will analyze how much team members' skills have improved, how well the team is performing with reference to agreed upon objectives, and the turnover rate of the team. Then we could update various enterprise environmental factors. For instance, if there is a recording system that records our employee information, then we could update employee training records and newly acquired skills of employees as an output or a result of developed project team process. Now, the last of the processes in human resource management is to manage project team, and this is the process of carefully observing team behavior, evaluating team member performance, and resolving issues as they occur. We will need a human resource management plan as a reference, the project staff assignments, the team performance assessments, issue logs, which records all issues that occur on our project, the performance reports, and organizational process assets. For instance, certificates of appreciation and organizational perquisites. These are all inputs that we will make reference to in order to manage the project team effectively. What tools and techniques can we make use of here? Observation and conversation is one simple way to pick out issues in a team. Then, project performance appraisals could be done to clarify roles and responsibilities, to discover unknown and unresolved issues and develop personal development plans, establish future goals. We could make use of conflict management and we understand conflict sources. Could be due to schedules, priorities, and personal work styles. Then we could make good use of our interpersonal skills, example, leadership, ability to influence, and then effective decision making. These are all tools and techniques we could rely on to efficiently manage the project team. Then we could speak of conflict resolution techniques. How do we resolve conflicts? We could withdraw or avoid. That talks of retreating from an actual or potential conflict situation. Not always good, but that is the only option at times. We have smoothing or accommodating, or we emphasize the areas of agreement rather than the areas of difference. We could employ compromising, searching for a solution that brings some degree of satisfaction to all parties. Then another method is forcing, that is pushing one's viewpoint at the expense of another. Not too good. At the best is always collaborating or problem solving, that is incorporating multiple viewpoints. Seeing the conflict as a problem and trying to find a solution, that is always the best way to deal with conflicts, for it gives us the long-lasting results. The ability of project managers to make decisions will depend on the power that has been granted them. The following are the types of power that are available to a project manager. We have the formal or legitimate power, and this is the power a project manager has because of his position. We could have reward power, which is a power a project manager has because of his ability to give rewards. Penalty or coercive power comes from the ability to penalize team members. Expert power comes from being the technical or project management expert. Reference power is power based on admiration of or respect for the project manager, and it is worth stating that the best forms of power to exhibit on a project are expert and reward. Penalty is the worst form of power to demonstrate on projects. Why? Your team members are afraid of you because you punish them easily. That is not too good on the project. We have other concepts in managing teams that we need to know. We have some theories regarding to managing teams. We have expectancy theory, which says that employees who believe their efforts will lead to effective performance and who expect to be rewarded for their accomplishments, they will remain productive as the rewards meet their expectations. McGregor gave a theory of X and Y, and theory X believes that people are incapable, avoid responsibility, and avoid work whenever possible, and therefore they need to be watched every minute. The theory Y is an opposite, which believes that people are willing to work without supervision and want to achieve, and therefore should be left to direct their own efforts. There are managers who believe in theory X, there are other managers who believe in theory Y, and therefore they behave differently based on the theories they ascribe onto. Then Maslow gave a hierarchy of needs and says that people do not aspire for higher needs except their lower needs are fulfilled. And his hierarchy starts with physiological needs, then safety needs, social needs, esteem needs, before people crave for self-actualization needs. He developed this pyramid to show how people are motivated and said that one cannot ascend to the next level until the levels that are below have been fulfilled. A manager that understands this will know how effectively to reward and motivate his project team or his project staff. Hesberg gave us a theory which comprised of hygiene factors and motivating agents. He says that poor hygiene factors may destroy motivation, but improving them will not necessarily improve motivation. In other words, hygiene factors such as working conditions, salary, and so forth, they are not the motivating agent. He says the motivating agent is the work itself and include things like responsibility, self-actualization, and growth. David McClelland gave a theory of needs, which is also called the acquired needs theory. He says that people are motivated by one of the following needs, either achievement, affiliation, or power, the desire to organize and influence others, which is the power we are speaking about here. These are the things that motivate people. The outputs of managed project teams. We could update our enterprise environmental factors, for instance, the organizational performance appraisals and personnel skills database. Then we could update our organizational process assets, example lessons learned database, templates that we've developed, and organizational standard processes that we have developed during our project could now be added to the company database. There could be change requests, for example, changes in staff assignments. There could be updates to our project management plan, and then there could be updates to various project documents. For instance, issue logs showing the status of issues. There could be role descriptions and project staff assignments that have been changed, and all these documents could be updated as a result of managed project team process.